Hello, everyone, and welcome back. As always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington. So, before we dive into today's episode, which is exploring whether or not Kyle Richards is going to admit that she has some lesbian bisexual tendencies, or is she still going to sort of play coy about it? Whether or not she is bisexual or a lesbian doesn't really matter. I don't care, whatever your sexuality is cool. I think the biggest issue is that Kyle is kind of using it as a way to have a storyline and fodder, and to me, kind of exploit the gay community without actually, no pun intended, but coming out and being honest about what's going on. So let's see what she has to say. So before we dive in, go ahead and like, subscribe, and share. So, with that, this is according to page 6. It says Kyle Richards was terrified to have a difficult conversation about her evolving sexuality with her daughters. But the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star breathed a sigh of relief when she was met with ample support. It was the most difficult conversation I've ever had with my children, and I was terrified to have that conversation. I just wanted to be as honest as I possibly could. She tells Page 6 virtual reality tea of opening up to Farrah, Alexia, Sophia, and Portia. There are stories out there about me, and this did make me wonder, and question myself. As Kyle explains in the upcoming season 14 premiere of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, she began questioning her sexuality as speculation about the state of her relationship with Morgan Wade ran rampant online and in the media. Okay, I'm going to stop it there and then we'll get more into it. I kind of feel like Kyle is lying. Like, I don't think the fact that the media was speculating about her sexuality made her question her own sexuality, because she was the one putting out those rumors. She was calling the paparazzi on herself. She was doing, sexual videos, sexually, I don't know what the word is, like provocative videos with Morgan Wade. She was getting tattoos with her. Like, Kyle was the one putting out this narrative around questioning her sexuality. The media didn't create that. She created that. And then she played into it and played it up for a storyline on the show and to make her husband, estranged husband, Mauricio, jealous. Turns out he seemed to not even care, because now he's out here dipping it and doing it with 20 years old, which, you know what, God bless him, he can do what he wants to do at this point. She's out here doing, like, Morgan's in her 20s too, Kyle is in her 50s, so what's good for the goose is good for the gander at that point. Now the conversation around whether or not it seems a little, Morgan is an adult. The women that Mauricio has been linked to, they are also adults. There is massive age gaps. That's always questionable, but I have to be fair, these are consenting adults. So I just want to make sure that's clear. Anyway, I feel like Kyle is again playing the victim in the scenario that she created. But let's see what else she says. She says, I really never thought like this before. This is not the way I was raised. That's not the way my mind even operated, she says, of her mental state before turning to her kids. And all of a sudden, I was thinking like that, and I wanted to be as honest with them as possible because they are my best friends. Okay, again, weaponizing children. I feel like a lot of times with the housewives, anytime they're in like hot water or there's questions around something going on, they always have that obligatory conversation with their kids, and their kids talk them through it, and their kids are their best friends, which is, again, is very toxic. Your children should not be your best friends. You should be the parent. They should be the child. Anyway, but I feel like they use their children as a buffer. Anytime there are rumors out there or difficult conversations out there or things that they kind of want to change the narrative about, there's always that scene where they're with the kids or they're with their daughter or they're with their son, and they give them such a new fresh perspective. And then it's harder for the audience to question anything because it's like, oh, well, you brought your kids into the conversation. Now that's different because kids are always off limits, blah, 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 blah. So to me, it's almost a way of Kyle to have cover. Also, don't forget, there was the rumor or allegation out there that production was like, if you don't come clean and be honest about your relationship with Morgan during this upcoming season, you may not be asked back. And as we know, Bravo is cracking down on their quote favorites not being honest and transparent. We see it happening in Potomac with Giselle. We see it happening in the on the OC with Tamara. She's getting a lot of backlash. I think that even though certain people, Kyle, have been producer favorites, not necessarily fan favorites, I think that ship has sailed. And I think everybody now is really being called to task to be honest and transparent. And so I think that Kyle now coming out with all this stuff about, oh, I started questioning my evolving sexuality and my children were so supportive. I think it's a bunch of bull crap, because I would believe this if she said, my relationship or my friendship or whatever you want to call it with Morgan made me question my sexuality because I started having certain feelings for her, and having that conversation with my children was difficult until I realized that they supported me no matter what. That I would believe. But to be like, oh, the media coverage, everybody talking about me and Morgan, that made me question my evolving sexuality. That's crap. Why would us talking about it and the media talk about it when you are the one who called the paparazzi on yourself, who brought it to the show, who was doing the absolute most, trying to make Mauricio jealous, didn't work. Try to have a storyline, didn't work. We all saw through it. The moment the fake PR relationship was over, you're on Jeff Lewis being like, I don't really know her like that. She's deleting all of your photos off of her Instagram. And because she's on tour and because there's an upcoming season, now all of a sudden you guys are being photographed together again. It's a bunch of BS. Now all of a sudden you're questioning your sexuality because of the media? Kyle, this is the wrong road. Wrong road. That's why I think you're going to have a very difficult season 14, which premieres next week, because I think everybody is tired of your BS. Just own your stuff. Own your stuff. And you're still not saying either way. You're still darting all the questions. So, girl, bye. Okay. Richards also wanted to make it clear to Farrah, whom she shares with her ex-husband, and Alexia, Sophia, and Portia, who she shares with estranged husband Mauricio, that they should never feel ashamed of engaging in a sensitive discussions themselves. Again, I think Kyle is wrong for this because she's telling her children that they shouldn't be ashamed of having sensitive conversations, but yet she herself isn't owning her own conversations. I like to lead by example, girl, bye. And I thought, this is what I'm going through and feeling. I want them to always feel comfortable enough to share with me the hardest conversations and know that they'll be accepted no matter what the mom of four says. To me, this is a lot of damage control. It's a lot of narrative pushing, whatever. Richards marvels on her children's immediate embrace of her newfound fluidity. Having that conversation, their reaction and response to me, I thought, wow, I'm just so impressed by these four women in front of me, says the Halloween actress. And I thought maybe, just maybe, I did do a good job because that was the most proud moment as a mom, just seeing how they all reacted. Again, Kyle, are you actually coming out and saying that you're saying that you're fluid, but yet in every single interview, in every single conversation, it is very clear that you're still saying that you and Morgan have a friendship. You have yet to say publicly that you and Morgan have a sexual relationship. Are you fluid with a different woman? With another? Are you dating a different woman and it's not Morgan? Because this is still a bunch of word salad nonsense. Okay? So it is what it is. It is what it is. As always, I want to know what you guys think about this. Do you think Kyle is still having just more word salad all over the place, trying to milk this Morgan Wade fake PR relationship for as long and as much as she can? What do you think about her bringing her daughters into the conversation as cover? And are you excited for the upcoming season of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? I know that I am. I am so looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a great season. And yeah, put your questions in your comments down below. And as always, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. It's a free and easy way to support the channel. And I really appreciate it. And I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.